hear me loud and clear?
Yes.
Okay. So, I'm Ray, and assistant professor based in NYU Brooklyn campus. It's called NYU Tandon School of Engineering. You can see on the first the cover slide. I've been here for the past 5 years, and my specialization is robotics and AI. And I did lots of medical robotics work, surgical robot, and then why the AI is intriguing because it enable me to facilitate the design and human robot interaction, and as well as the student learning system, because as NYU we have quite a lot of big student body, and that's the work we're doing for students. I hope the AI, this is the topic I'm going to present today. Along with another presenter in the call is my student, research student called Ahmad Hassan, and it is the MAAI. It stands for Multi-agentic AI approach for student support system. Thank you. So, industry workforce 5.0 is actually defined by industry 5.0. So previously we have seen the trend of the industry. 1.0 is the steam engine comes out, and that's defined as a landmark for human civilizations. And also the 4.0 is related to robotics, smart manufacturing. And the 5.0 is, if I may correct me if I'm wrong, is actually related to AI-powered technologies or transformative technologies can enable the next industrial revolution. We have seen over the news how AI can do the wonders, such as automate the manufacturing process and give us suggestions, as AI assistants to facilitate the work. Of course, it has encountered some downside as well, because people worry about the job loss, and as a traditional industry. And that's why it is very demanding or urgent to build the next generation workforce. It's called the workforce 5.0. And workforce 5.0 is enable them to use, at least have AI literacy. And AI literacy is the key, as well as they can work in the AI regulated AI governance and in a secure way. So that is the incentive why I want to start a project to help the students. I'm actually submitting a few NSF grants. NSF stands for National Science Foundation to enable this initiative, along with other professors from Georgia Tech and from Harvard University. And this is the incentive. So to meet this future workforce, so we require the students or our trainers to understand the systematic thinking and understand the collaborative at work. Probably many of you are from the companies and such as IBM, right, and Meta, and I've been to that space, and 50% of the workspace is actually occupied by meeting rooms, lots of meeting rooms. So that's why students need to understand how to collaborate effectively outside of their majors or disciplines. For example, a mechanical engineer need to work effectively with the electrical engineer and with software engineers to develop iPhone, for example, right? And the next generation iPhone. So collaboration skill is very not much needed. Also, critical thinking. And the only one advantage, or just the major advantage, our human can outpace AI is to have those creative thinking or critical thinking. And that's why the workforce is essential to equip those skill sets to understand the problem in a very analytical way. So that's the requirement or expectations for the, at least at NYU Tandon, to address those requirements, future workforce requirements. So, and since I mentioned about the collaborative environment, so student teams, as you know, is not as experienced as you as a professional. So for somebody who has worked in the industry for 5 years, you probably understand how the workflow is. But students, they are very early in the career development, so they are very experienced. They require constant monitoring. So which means I need to be in the lab or in the classroom all the time, okay? Because things could happen in any minute, not like a physical altercation, but maybe oral arguments. And also students are maybe less effective in terms of task management and time management. So those are the top considerations. And when we're dealing with the student learning. So on the other side, for myself, I'm a faculty member. I'm not just teaching. I also have research responsibilities, and also have commitments. For example, I need to pick the new faculty member every year. If somebody left, right? So this is a service part. So we have multiple tasks. We cannot fully commit 24 hours, 7 days a week to address student questions. So which means is any enabled tools such as AI tools can help us to facilitate the training or facilitate the learning. This is very much needed from our end. So this is some theoretical stuff, because I've been in the society called American Society for Engineering Education, ASWE. So I learned a lot from our pioneers, such as how can we use those theoretical framework to understand student learning, such as peer assessment. And peer assessment stands for students has to evaluate each other in each milestones of the project. And for example, milestone 1, and after they complete the project, in a certain 20% complete, then they start to give each other scores. Like if they can rate 1 to 5, and in terms of their performance, their peer performance. So I believe similar to other companies in the industry as well, right? So you rate each other, or your advisor rate you, and in a way, maybe monthly or quarterly basis. So this enables the student to self-tracking their performance, and then understand their challenges when dealing with people interfacing or personal conflicts. So as I already mentioned, some of the personal conflicts. So this is the 5 behaviors. How can we make sure the team, you can see on the right-hand side, this is the cohesive team model. On the bottom level, this is the trust. So because students, they're very, as I said, very young and motivated. They are from different backgrounds. Some of them many of them live in different communities, right? A neighborhood. So it is a very time sensitive, or very urgent for them to build a trust within a team, within project team. So that's why I put the trust, or this model put a trust in the as a foundation. And then one of the key challenges is how can AI assisted solution can help them with trust building and avoid those interpersonal conflicts, and also generate more productive results. Because I just inspired from some of the previous talks, and the new generation Z, they are digital dwellers or digital natives. Means they want to interact with the digital platforms a lot more than our generations. For example, I was born in the 80s, right? And I really get used to fill out the forms, Excel spreadsheets. But in this new generation of students, they prefer to interact with their smartphones, mobile platforms. And I think maybe there's a way we can do a AI assisted tour, so they can chat with the students, offline, and after class, so to understand their problems. And dealing with the, for example, they late for the class lectures, right? Or they late for the exams. The AI can talk with them, understand the problem, and help them to find out the issue, help them to find out a solution. So that is the key research area for me. Sorry. And this is a proposed solutions. So, we are building a very interactive platform using natural language processing, and we're aiming to put this on the smartphone app for students to use, and it can give instant feedback to students. Whenever you're available, the phone is available for them. This will help us to relieve our burden, my own burden, because in my end, I can always meet with them from 9 to 5. after 5 o'clock, I have my personal business to take care. But AI is indifferent, right? AI can assist them 24 hours 7. So which is a critical part. I believe for the future educational model for all the institutions such as NYU, and it can also document those results and to predict the student performance in the future. So we can use that to adjust our teaching, criteria. So this is the phase 1, and it's very simple analytical tool, text analytics. I just put using Google Sheet, and then I put on student comments, the peer comments at the end, and I do a sentimental analysis. So, and if the students feel positive about the project, they just put in the 300 words, right? But from my time, I don't even have time to read those comments because I have 300 students to take care every semester. So so it's critical for me to use the tool to understand their feelings before I move on to help them. Okay, you can see that's like a very simple sentimental analysis. And in phase 2, and I just say maybe we can use different language models and different machine learning models to try out to further improve the accuracy of the text classification, and then that is some of the initial results. So, and this is the idea. So you can see the chatbot and been built from our end. And then I'm going to pass this to Hassan and Ahmad Hassan, and to tell us some of the latest development involving the multi-agent language model. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Li. Yeah, so the first research paper, named Explore the Possibility of Monitoring Project Member Interactions Using Natural Language Processing, was published by ASEE in 2025. And this is where we actually see the first approach at using multi-agents for evaluating student performance in group settings. Go to the next slide.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, so the project was then extended by more sophisticated approaches that involve self-reflection agents that mimic real evaluator grading preferences. And we have a paper draft in progress, but I want to reference the figure that we have on the side here. This was actually a wonderful paper published in 2023 to ICLR. Its large language models are human level prompt engineers. It's a great paper, but essentially this figure is basically going through something that they call the automatic prompt engineer, which basically is able to take a designated task and create a multitude of prompts, and then go ahead and take the output and then score that. And from that, we're able to decide which prompts are best suited for whichever task. So in this case, we have multiple students who may need help with things as well, right? When they go ahead and give us a prompt, we're able to make a better prompt and get a better quality answer for that student. So another part is we utilize the integration of multiple agents, including the prompt engineer, critic, refiner, and output evaluator agents with structured feedback loops, similar to another paper actually, Enhancing AI Creativity, a multi-agent approach to flash fiction generation with small open source models. So in this paper, they went ahead and used an architecture for reiterative feedback mechanism. It was basically a reiterative feedback mechanism, which essentially relied on multi-layered feedback process to gradually add details to prompts and eventually generate a holistic story. And while yes, this is used for fiction, this can also be used for other things. Let's say a student maybe wants to design a project, right? They go ahead and give the project idea. Then from there, our system should be able to go ahead and make it more detailed, refined, and more tailored to the student's needs. Just going to reference the flowchart over here. Essentially, we would start off with a raw prompt, and this prompt generator agent would go ahead and create an enriched prompt. From there, we'd have a critic agent, which will give LLM suggestions plus scoring, and then we'd have a breakoff. So we'd go ahead and have the refiner agent come in to make a fresh prompt based on the LLM suggestions. And then from there, it would create two generated outputs, one being the generated refined output and one being the generated enriched output. From there, the output evaluator agent would go ahead and score both of these, giving suggestions and comments. And then we'd also integrated human scoring of outputs. So a human could come in and score and give feedback on what they thought the best prompt was, on why they thought it was the best prompt, and other things like that. And then from there, we have a decision to make. Is the enriched or the refined better than the initial baseline, which would be our round one, the raw prompt with no editing, and the output score that one gave, right? And then from there, we take either the enriched or refined, and we'll take the one that's better than the baseline or higher than the other. And then we repeat this iteratively n times, however many times we want to go, and continue with the best prompt. And then this would all start again. Go to the next slide. So the multi-agent system basically aimed to improve prompts and outputs based on a few specific key factors: creativity, coherence, engagement, and educational value. Obviously, AIs are very good at structured tasks. I think everyone understands that GBT, when given a very structured task, is extremely unbeatable. Like, a lot of AIs are extremely fast, but they lack creativity, right? And that's where we hope that things like automatic prompt engineering, or that paper that I just referenced, where they use an architecture for the reiterative feedback for flash fiction, comes in. Because when you have a more solid prompt, many of the times it leads to a much better output. And also with the human scoring now in the loop, right, we hope that it'll also increase creativity. Obviously, coherence and engagement is extremely important for students. And obviously, above all, educational value. Students need to understand what they're being told to actually make use of that information. Right. Refined outputs are obviously selected only if they outperform the raw or enriched versions. So we would stay, hopefully, above the baseline the entire time, as did most of the tests. And then outputs automatically are logged, scored, and visualized to track improvements across iterations. And then obviously, something new, the human in the loop scoring of outputs introduced in rounds to improve LLM prompt and output generation can be used to go ahead and rate the prompts or rate the outputs as needed, which will continually improve as the rounds go on.
Okay, so I can help with this part. So on the other side is we are streamlining the process by using fast API, and some of the existing tools we've been trying is the IBM has the graphite, and also we're having the generative AI such as GPT, OpenAI, and we've been trying Gemini. And we stored all the text data in the DB vector database. And also at NYU, we're having the supercomputer facilities able to enable us to use some of the GPUs there for initial testing. And we've been using RAG and to understand the reason why is we need to build a very academic, domain-specific chatbot. And because if a student go to, for example, GPT and asking for solutions or design ideas, it may not be the best way because the GPT lacks the content of, I'm not calling GPT, I'm calling just like A, right? Lacks the content or context of our curriculum or syllabus or some specific school requirements. And that's why I have the incentive to train our own model to address the problem, so students can have answer without any less hallucinations, for example. And now currently we're documenting lots of text, and now is a medium-sized text, right? 10,000 text messages from students from their team interactions. As I said, they are digital native, so they love to chat on Discord and also Slack. And moreover, is we want to try to implement the multi-agent idea to involve in the group chatting, because the students now they're using for example, Llama or Gemini, and it's a one-on-one chatting. They're asking for one-on-one help. And I wish the AI, the multi-agentic AI system, is able to involve in the group discussion as well. So, for example, in the classroom discussions, an AI is able to help with the student groups to direct them to the right, topic or the right direction. We wish they can do more interactions. And otherwise, there is no incentive. They lack they prefer to stay on their own to work on a project. So a collaboration, as I mentioned in the first slides, is critical for one of the directions for an engineering school to address. It's part of the workforce 5.0. So Marlon is part, and this is another research student, and she's working on the to modularize the LLM model, text classification. So also for documentation purposes. And some of the students, we have 300 students per semester, which means 600 students in total. And in the entire engineering school, we have 2,000 students. So if we can purposely document those text messages and into a vector database, it'll be a huge value for the new incoming students, or even for the student alumni, and then for them to for lifelong learning. The reason why is those are indications how students perform in each subjects. For example, if a student didn't see, hey, I didn't perform well in math or physics, and why is the reason they didn't perform well? And we can go down to that route and help them to address the problem at the very beginning. For example, first year of their study, before it goes into a snowballing effect as they are seniors. So, and also this is the Jaden's part, is another student, and is looking for text-to-speech recognition. The reason why I'm saying I like LLM is text chatting. And also we want to understand a bit more about how can we semantic routing, use semantic routing to classify each questions student asking us to the best AI agent. And for example, if a student asking, I'm not feeling well, and you possibly route the student question to AI agents, we have the mental health agent, so to answer their questions. And if the students say, I'm feeling, a little bit, my score is not bad. It's not bad, but in the future I can improve. So, and this could be, a way the semantic routing can route the question to academic agent. So, and they can work on more how to improve the student, the academic performance. So this is the second part. So I will thank you for all the students including Hassan Ahmad here, and to the contributions. And we are working also together with the Office for Digital and Emerging Technologies at United Nations, and also, of course, the AI Alliance. And this is why you can scan my lab website to find out more. And yeah, thank you for listening to my talk. And any questions?
Great, thanks a lot, Ray. Hey, anybody got any questions? Go ahead and post them in the chat. We do have a couple questions already. Let me go find them very quick. Okay, so let's see. Hold on one second. Yeah, by the way, we had kind of a funny moment here. Ralph Sayam, he made the comment. I'll just share his comment first. He said, "This is very cool, Ray." He says, "Would love to learn more about your upcoming projects. I've published some work on AI-based student monitoring and instructor support with HGSEs, Chris Deed and Bertrand Schneider. Looking forward to connecting soon." All right, so there's somebody who's possibly interested in collaborating, so that's great. And then, and it turns out he's also located in Mountain View, which is where I live. So we connected in the messages below. We'll probably actually get together in person for a real coffee. Can you believe it? Yeah, and then, and we're going to be hooking up with you, Ray, in October. So real people getting together. Can you believe it? All right.
Yes, cannot wait.
Yeah. Also, Anya Braca, she says, "Can you please share the link of papers in the chat?" And then you had already replied that they're coming out soon. So make sure to give us the link to that when it is published, right? And we need to make sure to send it out to this group. Okay. Oh, and then you have a Google Doc. What is that? I didn't click on that doc link. What is that link point to?
That's my presentation slides.
Oh, great. Thank you for sharing that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi. So, hi, sir. Shall I ask a question?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So, myself, I'm Srinivasan. So, I'm from India. So, I need a question like how to start a AI from the scratch. We need some programming knowledge or like some algorithms we need to learn. So, in that way, how can I start my career in AI? Could you please assist me?
Hey, hey, let me just start real quick by saying that we have a project on the AI Alliance. It's called AlleyCat, and it is it is meant for helping you get started. Basically, it's a one-shot RAG application, and what it does is it scrapes data from a website, and you can choose what the website is. We default to using the AI Alliance website. It then pulls the data, cleans it up, chunks it, and creates embeddings, puts it into vector database. Okay, so now the data is in the vector database. And so just understanding that step alone is really important, because you can then understand like how you start turning data into information that models can understand. So that's something important to learn. Also, the next thing, once you've put the data into a vector database, you can now start asking it questions by taking the data and sending the question and the data to an LLM, a large language model, and then letting it use that large language model to actually find the relevant answers and respond to you. I will put the link into the chat there, but I just wanted to make sure this is an AI Alliance project that was specifically meant for helping people get started with one of the most common problems that you need to solve in AI. So I will post the link here, but I want to turn it over to Ray and his team here if they have any more they'd like to add.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Trey.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you. So.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure. You say you want to. Could you rephrase your question? Sorry. Reiterate your question, please. And Trey, are you still here?
He may have gone off.
We got offline.
But his question was simply, they're a student, they're in India, they're trying to get started with AI. Mm-hmm. Where should they get started? And mm-hmm. as at your project also gets started with your project also gets started with RAG. RAG is mm-hmm. a very, very, very popular mm-hmm. way to get a lot of value out of AI quickly. Mm-hmm. It's not easy, but it's also not hard. It's kind of in that in-between stage. I think it's an excellent place to get started. What do you think of that?
Yes, I think this we can, starting from some existing framework, popular framework, to build your own template. That's learn from the pioneers. This is a great starting point. As for me, I was educated in a mechanical engineering background and robotics. And Ahmad is the CS background, right? And that's why we collaborate and we work together to define the problem, to making the framework. Because the incentive for me is initially I was starting my research back in 2020. This is like a very, as I said, the Excel spreadsheets, right? You saw in my presentation, and how can we possibly automate the comments? And this is the incentive. But after I learned a lot more from the AI Alliance, they give me lots of support. And along the way, different framework, different, GitHub repositories. Later, I will share the repositories through David. Dave, you can get from him. And this is a great way for me to start with. So I'm been new to this field. I only researched for 4 years. I think I agree with you. The RAG is a very popular repository. Why? Because for me, is we don't talking about domain-specific chatbot or domain-specific LLM, such in the academic settings, right? So, and the RAG will enable us to find give the student correct answers with very reliable answers. This is the key, because when we let the chatbot to perform the tasks, we also carry the risk. It's the job duty for me. And if the chatbot didn't give the right answers, the student will possibly they sue me. This is it's like a double-edged sword. So that's why I like RAG. So and now it's been performing okay, and that's the my 2 cents. Thank you.
Great, thanks for that. Do any of your team members there want to add anything, or
yes? Ahmed.
No, I
Yes.
think for like the question of like actually like getting started in AI,
Uh-huh.
the way that I like got started, I think there's a lot of great free resources just like online that you can easily like get into almost any facet of coding. There's a lot of like free resources. Like I think Free Code Camp, I think they have a lot of good videos. I think starting off with a understood framework that has like a lot of videos already there is, in my opinion, the best way to start, and that's how I got into it. I think like TensorFlow is very popular. There's a lot of other ones. I feel like just getting into any of that and just getting your hands dirty and starting off is the best way to learn almost anything in coding. You just have to keep trying things and eventually learn from there. That would be how I would go about it, as I did. I think that's how I would tell any like new person to go about it as well.
Thanks, Ahmed. Thanks, Ahmed. We do have some hands raised here. I do want to give them a chance. It looks like the first one is Maxim. Maxim, do you want to turn on your audio and ask your question?
Yes, of course. Thank you for taking my question. So when I was listening to this little thing, first off, the disclosure, I'm still technically a student, although I do now actively work with foundation on different things. The thing that I wanted to mention is that the main feelings that students have at the moment is not resolved by this proposed solution, which is the distance between the material, motivation, and actual subject matter. The more you use automated tools, the less human interaction is involved and the less the student themselves feel like they're important or that what they're doing is important. I feel like there is a solution to this problem in the AI field, but the current format between the LLMs and the necessary automation in many cases, especially in educational institutions that are overcrowded or underfunded, does not help the situation. Do you perhaps have any ideas how you can fix this human element that isn't quite being met?
I'm going to answer the question, and Ahmed, feel free to supplement. Okay, so and I like this question a lot because education is also a psychology question, to be honest. Okay, and we have lots of psychological elements in the education, as you said, right? Human interactions, and this is a critical part. And how can dealing with humanity subjects, right? And as engineers, it's always every day I wake up and think about this question. Especially LLM. And so I might have two possible directions. One is the VLM. VLM is we incorporate the visual interactions between students, and because in the classrooms now, and most of them have cameras, and have cameras like in classroom cameras, and the AI is able to observe the students' facial expression, and then understand understand more about their concerns, and rather than just text in and as a chatbot. And second one is I still highly encourage in-person learning. That's the key. The reason why I build a chatbot is not to replace some of the existing framework, educational system. Say, oh, you can do remote learning at home, and then just talk to AI. And this may not be the best way because as an instructor, we prefer you to come and talk to us. AI is an AI assisted tool. You probably see my slides. It's not AI powered tool. Okay, there's a difference. AI assisted tool means humans still in the loop. So AI is able to help some of the critical questions. Even, for example, I'm in the bed, right, and sleep. The students, sometimes they have anxiety, right? They woke up 3 o'clock in the morning and couldn't find out someone to help. And now if they could have a supplemental tool such as AI, teaching tool, they can talk to the one of the agents we developed. It's called a mental health agent, and understand the problem so they can go back to the right track before anything could happen. You'll see over the news, and this is not like minor issues, could be a widespread issues, and therefore, especially in engineering schools, it's under stress, right? STEM educations, and it is my 2 cents. Last one is absolutely, the future direction is how can we find out general framework together with AI Alliance. It's called AI governance, right? How can we regulate AI usage, and how can we possibly prevent the abuse of AIs, and make sure the AI can truly serve the society in a positive way, and with the secure data. And data security is also a very interesting topic, because students, some of them are they are not professionals. They are protected by FAPA and HIPAA, right? So those regulations. So we should be very careful to use their data, and to doing some research, and for in the future. Okay, Ahmad, and do you have anything to supplement?
Just mirroring what you said, I think that AI is ultimately just something that should be looked at as a tool. No matter how good AI gets, it obviously cannot replace human to human interaction. I would not be where I am now if it wasn't for the fact that I was able to build a human connection with all my professors. I think that no matter how advanced AIs get, you have to remember it's just a tool. I like that we have 24-hour AI, like that would be very useful to students. So I think that it would never hurt a student, because they can ultimately just not use it if they don't need it. But I think it'll always just be better to at least have the option of using an AI if they need it. But yeah.
Okay, thank you guys. We have a couple more questions here, so I'm going to keep going. I'm going to go back to our chat here. I've got a question from Thea Garanjan. He says, I have Wising. I'm not sure what that means, but shall I make my LLM or choose an LLM to take care of the documents I'm uploading? I suspect the answer is don't create your own LLM. But what are your thoughts on that?
I can elaborate my question here. So I'm working a project. The thing is, we are doing all this vectorization through RAG, through our application. So one of the architect, he's good in AI. So he suggested me, like, we no need to do all these things manually. Like, our LLM is smart enough to take care of building the vectorization environment. Like, if I upload a document, it able to convert that into the chunk and save it in the vector database. And when we just prompt it, like, it can able to bring the chunks and analyze it and give the answer to us. Is it possible?
Ahmad, do you want to? This is a little bit technical, but let me answer from my end. Ahmad, you can supplement. And so you talk about the workflow, right? The streamlined process. I think this, if you want to use AI to automate AI, that's great. Okay, and I think people have done it before, and it's possible. And Ahmad, from back to your slides, you talk about the prompting, the workflow. Did you use any of the automated features from your end?
Majority of it was like automated, but I don't know if any of it would specifically help in his case.
Of course, and we can. I think we can chat more, offline. But there's I think there's a few ways you can do it. Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, feel free to ping us offline to get more questions. As I shared my email address earlier, you're welcome to ping me on that. Yeah, feel free. Okay.
Can I ask a quick question real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, Zion. Welcome back.
Hi, how are you? Just real quick. Great presentation. My question is, do you foresee the need for internal audits or like compliance reviews of these AI support systems, like particularly if they're being used to guide student career or academic pathways? Yeah.
Great question. Thank you. And I believe the internal reviews is we have already have regulations called ABET. So ADET, and I can share the link with you. And So this is part of the course or requirement we normally do every 6 years, especially the for certified educational. Okay, this is the ABET. And for internal reviews and in detail in my organization, our president, Linda Mills, and also the Provost's office has sent some messages to the academic community and to allow us to set up some regulations before we allow students to use the GPT, for example. And some of the misuse could result in fail in a grade. So and so we've been thinking about the framework, yes. And if you talk about the system we're developing now, such as the AI-assisted tools, and I believe there's another regulation coming soon. And there used to be a group, a white paper I can share with you. Maybe Dave can share later. Is the FA1 generated from the FA1 AI Alliance Group, FA1, and they have. Yes. Yes, and they have done some initial exploration of the like, for example, how do we possibly manage the education of the future workforce. And yes, so internal review is critical. I agree with you. Internal audit is critical because we need to keep AI in a way it can serve the students. Many of the students asking me the question, hey, can I use AI to write reports? I say definitely no, because AI is not doing the degrees for you, right? So even the AI can help you with coding, and they need to understand the fundamentals. That's how you can be creative. How can you once you graduate, you go into those job positions, and you will need to deal with the real case scenario, the real life problems. If you don't have the fundamental skill set, it's very hard to start a day job and to be successful, to have a successful career. Yes.
Thank you. I have one more question to ask you.
Yes.
How does the system ensure like equitable access, like, and support students who may have like less digital fluency or maybe come from like under-resourced schools?
I love this question a lot, and I've been looking to DI and those aspects every time I look into research work. And that's why when I remember Maxine asked the question, how can we do remote learning, right? And it can maybe degenerate the student interest. But I can see another good aspect of remote learning. For example, students from underdeveloped regions or much needed communities can use also access the same learning materials, such as from NYU, and through the AI chatbot, through the AI assisted tools. And I have an initial plan is since the AI is building the portable platform. That's why you see my presentation earlier. So like a smartphone, maybe we can just give away the smartphones with sell some credits. You can use that to credits means the Wi-Fi credits, right, or internet credits, and they can use that in the area much needed. Also, we can set up some port station, like like educational part. And then people can able to use the desktops there and to access the AI materials or AI education, AI literacy. And I'm happy to give the talks in the communities and to give more instruction to them how to address this critical problem. And I'm not alone. We have a group of professors been working on the NSF, addressing those issues. There's a NSF programs, NSF IUs or DOE program, and they are putting lots of fundings in the area to make sure equality in education.
Thank you. Thank you for your response. Nice to meet you.
Good to see you. Good evening.
Great, thanks. We have another question from Ashok. Ashok, would you like to unmute yourself and ask your question?
Hello, guys. Thank you very much for the presentation. I appreciate it. Very good.
Thank you.
I have a question related to the architecture of the solution. I mean, I work with some RAG applications. The problem with the RAG is the vector embedding when the source data changes constantly. When it comes to big businesses, the source data constantly changes. We have to keep generating the embeddings and like keep it up to date, the vector database. So I thought MCP will do that for us because it can connect to the real database real time and pass it to the LLM. So is it, I mean, RAG is good. Is it RAG still relevant in the age of MCP? I want to know your opinion on that.
Oh, thank you. And think the NCP, yes, RAG and plus NCP will be still valid and good in my application, especially for NCP. And because NCP is for model context protocol, right? So so if we can, in the educational setting, because we already have some existing protocols. So it's for example, in our school, Tandon School Engineering, we have lots of syllabus or course syllabus, or we have the teaching materials. Those can be part of the protocol, and then this will lay a very solid foundation before we can put into the RAG, because the RAG system is already have the retrieval function, and if we can possibly combine those two, that'd be great.
Okay, so you say the answer is RAG plus MCP rather than RAG or MCP. Okay. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and by the way, I've discovered that in some cases, what happens is with MCP tools, you end up using a lot more RAG because some of the MCP tools actually use RAG within their own solutions. So you may make a call out to an MCP using an MCP tool, and that solution's using RAG. So I've actually heard of one solution where they added over 100 MCP tools to their RAG app. I'm sorry, to their agent, and over half of them were using RAG. So that ended up meaning they went from one RAG solution to 50.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we got another question here from Ariwa. You want to unmute yourself and ask your question?
Yes, thank you. I had a question about AI prompting. There was discussion about automatic AI prompting, and I wanted to know what methodologies were used to achieve that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just chime in here. So yeah, we based it off of a few different papers. I think you might remember the Enhancing AI for Flash Fiction. Essentially, right, we could use like multiple different like AI agents, but we used Ollama for the purpose of tests, and we'd go ahead and give them a designated task for these AIs, and we would go ahead and tell them to take the prompt and then rate it based on the same four things that I talked about in the presentation, which was coherence, engagement, educational value, and creativity of just the prompt as well, prior to the output. And then also after the output was created and then it was evaluated, based on those values, it would go back, and in the next iteration, it would try to create a prompt that adhered closer to all of the score suggestions.
So that sounds like a recurrent neural network, utilizing the output to optimize the process. Is it a neural network kind of a? You said you use Ollama?
Yes, Ollama. Yes, that's an LLM.
Okay.
But yeah, the refinement process you were describing essentially is exactly what was happening. It's going through continually and trying to add details to a prompt to fix any holes that may be found in the LLM scoring and suggestions that happen after each round.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yep.
And Ahmad, I believe you also have the human, and
the human scoring is just there to continually like fill in any gaps that that may be left by an LLM.
Thank you.
Okay, next question here in the chat. I see, thank you for your presentation. Do you already have experience in transferring your model to other universities? Is the model eligible for such transfer? And is it open source, or is there a possibility of making it open source? If so, can you please share the link to the GitHub repo of your project?
Yes, thank you. Really appreciate you ask this question. And yes, I've been working with Duke University, Georgia Tech, and Purdue University on this initial effort. But yes, we are looking forward to more institutions to join us. And yes, and this is transformative because we have a very large student body and in those universities, so it's easy to get some initial testing done. Of course, we're looking into community college as well, and, you know, not just R1 university, R2 and the community colleges to get more balanced data output. And yes, so it's ongoing. And later I will, Dave, if you, Ahmad, you have the GitHub, right? And you can share with Dave, and please, you know, we're happy to share make it open source project. And I'm very strong believer to be open source idea, because I believe this is the collective effort. You know, everybody should participate and make it better. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. That's great news. Great news. Okay, let's see. Sorry, I thought that was a question, but it's not. Let me keep going here. Okay, and oh, by the way, quick note, I would love to get involved in the AlleyCat project. Okay, by the way, I see there being some, and that was from Ariwa. I would love to help you, Ariwa. If you want to reach out to me via my email address, I'll put it again here in the chat. Again, if you have any questions, please reach out to me. If you'd like to participate in the AlleyCat project, I think the AlleyCat project might actually be a nice maybe like an entry-level project that could lead people to this project, because it's a basic RAG application, and it could be a good like starting point. I certainly don't want to sidetrack it all and take away from your project here and your talk here, but it was meant for that reason. It was meant to get people to like a one-shot RAG application. And then from there, like folks can build agents and stuff on top of it. Anyway, I'll talk to you about that, Ray, and you know, maybe there's some way we can collaborate on that. I think it would be a good fit.
Sure.
Let's see. Okay, let's see. Let's go back over to our queue here. We have Siddharth. Siddharth, if you want to unmute yourself and ask your question.
You do. Am I audible?
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you, Rui and Ahmad, for the presentation. This is my first time joining the AI Alliance meeting, so I enjoyed it. I just have a quick question. You explained about the model and the architecture in detail. However, I have a question in the starting phase of the application, where we are gathering the data from different channels. You mentioned, I think, Discord and few other applications. So my question is, how do we neglect the noise? Because sometimes what happens is in these channels and so many the social media or the other data sources from where you are gathering your data has a lot of noise and data not irrelevant to our application getting into the vector database and feeding into our system. So how do we manage, how did we manage that, or are we taking care of that?
Yeah, great question. And Ahmad, you feel free to supplement. And my initial, in the main body of the data is collecting from the student body, from the previous students' records. So their interactions, their group project interactions, right, have lots of text messages, you know, Discord channels. So, and yes, we need to clean out the data before we can fit it into the database. So this process will be done by my research students. You know, they have automated tool, you know, catch out any aggressive languages or, you know, any inappropriate languages in the text messages. So we can just manually remove it and screen out the data. And for the social media part, And this part is we are under exploring now. Is under exploring now because we need to find out a way to secure data for the best, as I said, the best way for data security and the best way to make sure the data compliance. Sorry, that's the word. Data compliance to the educational standard. Yes. So this exploring now. I'm happy to talk with you about some of the future opportunities. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Let's see. I think we might be nearing the end of the questions. This has been great, folks. Thanks for asking all these questions. It's made it very interesting and has used up all of our time. Good. All right. Let's see. I have one more question. It looks like from Sachin. Sachin, you want to unmute yourself and ask your question?
Hi everyone, thanks very much for the presentation. Very enjoyable and very useful. I have a bit more of a general question. I'm currently a computer science and AI master student in London, and I'm finding it difficult to find mentors to help me along the process. I come from a finance background and I've kind of moved close to the tech side of things and doing this master's, and I'm struggling to find mentors to help me find relevant project work that I can produce and show, and also to kind of guide me along the way. I'm just wondering if anyone had any suggestions on how to find some good mentors.
Okay, sure. And allow me to chip in first. And I think the best way is to find a good mentor is to search on their lab website or their page from the institutions, so you can understand their previous work and their publications and what kind of institution they've been working with and what is a research interest. You'll be also shooting an email to them and to just self-introduce yourself, right? And with your resume, with your polished resume, and it will be a great way to start the initial conversations. And another way is to join just attend conferences. Not just academic conferences. For example, goes to this ECS, right? As other big conferences, or Neurons, Neuron IPS. Yes, a great one, right? Those mentors will be there to talk to you in person. Super invaluable experience. Or conferences or meetup organized by AI Alliance is also a great way to understand and get more mentor support. And probably you'll be looking, if you're looking for research mentor support, yes, and search on the lab website, and then find out their information and email them. If you're looking for industrial mentor, and those conferences are a great way to look out for people who has the same interest as you. Maybe they're looking for mentee as well, and to start with. And Ahmad, please. You have any way to
Yeah,
yes.
think, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
I think a big thing for mentors is obviously you should also just know what you want, know what field exactly you want to work in. I know this is an AI conference, so I assume you at least have a good idea. And projects are also a good way to get you at least like your foot in the door. I heard that you're a finance student, so I assume that maybe you might not have as many projects as a lot of like STEM students. I think also doing projects can help with your resume a little bit and help get your foot in the door with a lot of mentors, so you can start getting involved in a lot more projects. That's about it.
Thanks very much. Much appreciated.
Yeah, and one thing, Sachin, we have a project based out of a company called Last Mile, which is an AI Alliance member. They are, we've got the founders involved in this project, and we are definitely looking for people who, like yourself, who have an interest in learning about AI. In particular, this project, what made me think of it is we're creating an agent that uses MCP servers. In particular, we're looking for one to evaluate that pulls data from different financial sources to look for indicators that a price of a stock or any other financial instrument is, the value of it is changing, so that we can put the data into an Excel spreadsheet for a financial analyst to review. And ultimately, the goal is to create an instrument that automatically makes trades based on information that it gathers. So, you know, whether that's a good tool, whether it's, you know, effective at making money or not is a different question. But it is a very, you know, you can imagine that an open source tool like this could be very useful for anyone who has like their own special algorithm that they would like to add to it. If that's something you'd like to
yeah, that sounds great.
in.
Please repeat the name of the company again for me.
So the name of here, I'll put the link to the project here. Hold on. Here we go. Okay, just put it in the chat. Go check it out. Reach out to me. My email address is, again, it's in the chat a couple times. Again, I'll put it right here. Okay, reach out to me and I'll get you hooked up with this project. Again, like they're not going to be mentors to you, I think, in the traditional sense, but they will be mentors on this project. And I think that you will learn a lot. I'm already learning a ton. So I think you'll benefit a lot by participating in it.
Yeah, that sounds great. Thanks so much. I come from a equity stock background, so it sounds right up my street.
Oh, perfect. Awesome. Good to hear. Okay, so with that, I think we are at the end of our questions, and we are definitely over time. So I want to thank our speakers for sticking around and sharing what was a very engaging, interesting, engaging topic. So thank you all. Also, for those asking questions, we love this. This is like really why we do it, to come up with new thoughts, new ideas, connect people with projects. That's really why we're here. So thank you very much for living up to the dream. Okay, so with that, again, join us again next week. Go check us out online. I will just put one more time up on our screen here the deck. I think it's there you go. So go check us out at thealliance.ai. You can also go to github.com/the-ai-alliance. We will be creating this open agent lab. By the way, that project I mentioned from last mile will be part of the open agent lab. Ray, we got to talk about your project. I think it also belongs in the open agent lab, or at least part of it in some way. And if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. There's my email address on the screen, and also I put it in the chat before. Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate it. And we look forward to talking to you next week.
Thank you all.
Everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.